Okay, so chapter 9 of Ramachandran was a really interesting chapter for several different reasons. There was a lot I liked about it, because it was really engaging, and I liked how he started off with a more specific thing, like telephone syndrome, and saying how the basic concept of different pathways can make up a whole and different parts can make up a whole, and kind of teasing apart some of the basic philosophy and psychology around some of the things we believe about the human mind, and saying which parts are effective at describing what is going on and which parts need a little tweaking. And I thought that was really cool as just an overall basis. Specifically, though, one of the criticisms I have is that sometimes especially when he was talking about free will and sense of self and how we describe characteristics of a person like pride and things like that, we always say it in relation to others, and then free will, what we think as free will and what we describe as free will. It's kind of a little convoluted in the sense that so one of the main problems I have is that to the degree of which we have free will over certain our actions, I think that sometimes people, what bothers me is that he takes the stance that if humans believe this is what is there, then that is what is there. And what I mean by that is when he was describing the computer example of redness, he was saying how most people would be uncomfortable with saying that's all that contributes redness, therefore there's a sense of mind, or there is a sense of free will, or other things surrounding red. I understand that point, that there's a lot more things to surrounding red than that. But at the same time, just taking the stance that this is untrue because humans believe that we have a lot more free will, I don't think that's a legitimate thing. I think that sometimes people try to believe that people have a lot more free will in some of their actions than they may not have. And so that was the main thing that bothered me about this reading in a general sense. Also, I kind of liked how he teased apart the fact that nowadays you pretty much have a disorder for everything, and I liked how sometimes he would put disorder in quotation marks, saying that sometimes it is subjective, and sometimes, for example, when he was talking about the disorder where you basically reject authority, he was saying how it's clever because even if you are in denial of it, it's proof more that it's proof more that you have that. I think that really struck at a major theme of what has become pop psychology, and some of the misconceptions around disorders in general, and how most people don't realize that describing an abnormal behavior doesn't necessarily give you information about the so-called normal behavior, and just because you just meet one person with it doesn't mean it's necessarily an abnormal behavior, and a lot of people don't pick up on that, so I'm glad that he pointed that out. And other than that, that's about it.